Let's dive into the astrology and then we'll go into what topics we're feeling into this week. Is there anything specific on your mind?
Um, have you seen Heated Rivalry? I'm the only person who has not seen this show.
No, you're like the 20th person to ask me this.
Okay, so then we're not going to discuss it because I haven't seen it. I just think it's fascinating how obsessed people are with this show. So maybe we need to at least like dive in a little.
Oh, that I need to watch it. And then like four other people asked me recently, and I'm like, okay.
I mean, my clients, like of all ages, are freaking out about this show. Heterosexual
Yeah,
female clients.
yeah. Okay, I gotta watch it. I need a new binge anyway, since I literally watched all of The Pit in like 48 hours.
Can I tell you what is so good is the second season of The Night Manager, but it's not complete yet. It's only 4 episodes.
Where is that on Prime?
Yes. Did
Okay,
you see the first season? Oh,
okay. Okay,
it
good.
was a
I'm
decade ago.
watch. I was worried that I watched everything and that when my baby comes and I have to breastfeed all night, I'm not gonna have anything to watch.
No, you guys, it's
My
so
deepest
good.
fear my deepest fear is that I have to breastfeed in the dark with no TV on.
I mean, that may be me this weekend in Snowmageddon
Like, if you have nothing to watch, but
and books.
you're a reader. I mean, I'm a reader
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
but you're breastfeeding, it's like so many things.
I'm reading such this book as I prep for this class, The Astrology of Fate. It's so rich and dense and looks at looks at the ancient Greeks and Jungian psychology, and it's like it just makes me realize how flimsy so much spiritual writing is.
Mm,
Where it's like really all you need to do is read the book jacket and then there's just 1,000 anecdotes to support the book jacket, but you actually don't need to read it. This is like actually an exploration. It's
interest
all about fate and it's and like free will, and it doesn't have an agenda, which is exactly like how I'm leading this class or co-leading this class, my friend Emily. But
Isn't
it's
it
just
that
such a yeah.
Vedic astrology dances more in the realms of like fate and seal and like I know that I have an Indian friend, he was really against astrology because it was put on him as like this is your fate, you don't have much wiggle room. And then when it comes to Western astrology, it like very much plays in the realm of free will.
Yes, because Westerners tend to, since the Enlightenment,
Mm.
writes all about this. But since the Enlightenment, the focus has really been on the individual, and that, like in the introduction, Liz Green, who's the mother of psychological astrology, writes about how it's threatening this idea of fate,
Mm.
right? And somehow Western culture is very comfortable with karma because there's a cause and effect.
But they don't use karma in the correct way.
Correct. Correct. But just like the interpretation and the way that it's shared, but that there's this fear of fate. But then I think it's layered and I think it's complex. And that's why I want to have this discussion because I think it's not in this call, but just why I want to lead this discussion. I don't want to call it a class because I think it's a really complex layered thing. But like, I do think I know I've had fated moments. I would say my near death experience was a fated moment.
Mhm.
And it happened on a very significant under a very significant astrological event. It was an eclipse, but also that eclipse hit me really, and the moon was directly on the Pluto was directly on my moon, and Pluto tends to bring fated events. I mean,
Mm.
would you think that you meeting Tyler is a fated event?
Totally. I always use the word Bashara in my
Yeah,
head because
right.
this was meant to be.
So I mean, I have a hard time dismissing that some events are fated. And I think the older I get with
Mm.
perspective, because, you
But
know,
why
y-
people are uncomfortable with the notion of that, like, in a weird way, I find it to be comforting. I mean, it's not that you know what the event will be. Like, you couldn't have said that I know I will have a near death experience on this, but
no,
say that there's significant energetic impact and imprint around a topic that could generate who knows how many spider webs of reality. I mean, I think that's very cool.
right. And I think I think I do believe the idea that our soul has an imprint and that there's I mean, I think what astrology does, it gives us kind of a window. And I think some things are but how much is governed by things that are totally unconscious? Like, for example, she'll talk about how psychiatrists in this book, Liz Weedon will talk about how psychiatrists are basically talking about fate when they're saying this is your family lineage, this is what you carry. Any genetic predisposition is another terminology for fate in a way. Like, I didn't choose my height. I didn't choose my eye color. I didn't choose my parents. I mean, you could, if you believe from a soul, but like on earth, right? I think we're obsessed with the idea of control.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when people think of fate, they think of death. And that's what's the scariest.
Right, but could they also think of love?
Yes, 100%. I'm just saying, I think that we've also become
S and positive things, like,
a hundred
where
percent.
that's where it
You
hits
you
where
meeting Tyler, Asher coming through. Like,
or even
why
just,
are
like,
those not
like,
fated?
things with your work, right? Where it's like that's why I love using astrology as a tool in that way because it's like, if you ever feel lost or out to sea, which we all feel
Mhm,
many times throughout our lives, to tap in with an imprint that says, "Here's the realm that
mhm,
ended that you play in
mhm,
for this particular aspect of your existence,"
mhm.
to know that if you do that, if you engage with what's really wanting to be offered to you, then on a fate level, it is your fate to have that blossom in some way.
Yeah, that's called the natal promise. And then the
Yep.
evolutionary, aspects of astrology is seen through the progressions, which is
Right.
kind of allows the flowering and blossoming. And so I don't think it's formulaic. I think that's the issue is we want a formula that we can control and we can harness. But I I don't know. I feel like it's so much more layered. I do think there is something far greater going on. And I think we have less control than we think we do.
I think getting older makes that seem like way more appealing to me.
Yes, I totally agree. Like, I think when I was younger, and that's why in a way, when I'm in communication with a younger client versus or a younger person who's not a client, but like a family friend, or it's a I frame things, or the conversation is very different than if I'm talking to someone who's 60
Right.
because the perspective is different,
Yes.
right? It's like it, it's all in front of you.
Well, someone who's 60 has learned through the humbling of life, the
Learn
humor
themselves.
thinking
Him.
that you're in control.
Right, but they've also learned themselves and understand their own imprint when you're
Right.
young, and this is the beautiful thing about being young is that you don't you don't you may be armed with your astrological information, your human design. You don't know really why you've made the choices, either unconscious or conscious. I mean, Jung says that it's basically all unconscious until you're 40.
I know I saw that recently and I was like, sick. Like, I love being 40. But I remember I recently found some journals from my 20s and I was like, it was all about what I wish I could have flew back in time and
Yeah.
burst people's shoulders. Like, hey, like all this external stuff that you're trying to control, drop it. Go in and figure out which kind of choices you wanna make, because it's all you can control. And you can't control the outcome of those choices, but you can control how you're gonna feel about them because you're consciously making choices. Whereas,
Right,
like
but, like, if I think back at the choices I made, and some of them were fucking stupid, right? And not wise. I don't know. I was given the information I had at that moment. I made every decision thinking I was making the wisest decision.
right.
That's the whole thing with youth, and
Yeah.
I think you do have to rub up against the world. I think you have to, you know, so I don't it since the beginning of time, people said, if I could tell my younger self, or I could get youth is wasted on the young and all of that. I think that's the beauty of it. And i- there's a beauty in all of it. There's the beauty in youth and it being, and there's a beauty in having been scarred, have experienced losses in a different kind of way. And also, I think, when I'm going to speak for myself, when I've experienced, when I veered into depression or heartache when I was younger, it's very different than in my mid 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just talking romantic. I'm just talking all because it's different when you feel like all those years are ahead of you versus I still, knock on wood, have a lot of years, but it's different. It's just different.
Yeah.
I have a whole other set of data points and reference points that I couldn't possibly have had when I was younger.
Yeah, that's so true.
And that's a beautiful thing.
When you're young, you're beautiful on the outside and horrid on the inside. And when you're old, you're scary on the outside, beautiful on the inside.
I do wish, one of the things that I really do wish about America, because I don't like to get on the like dogging on America, but I do wish we respected our elders more. I do wish that the culture was more, reverent of, but but also the elders right now are like, it's a death grip. It's like they won't create space for the youth. But I do think something is lost. Like I think of other cultures that really, like Italy, where there's real respect for the elders. And I think
Look at what we did during COVID. We like, I mean,
don't even get me
in general,
started.
like we have this toxic system of like, oh, you're old. Okay, go live somewhere with a bunch of other old people. And like, we like sequester them away. And okay,
Some
fine.
died without seeing anybody. I can't, I
Well,
did.
that's not my grandfather,
It's, it's,
but it's like on some level, you're like when my grandma went into her home, she died well before COVID. As the first time I went there, I was like, whoa, kind of cool. It's like college, but it's all like 80-year-old people. Like,
we're all fucking, by the way.
I know there's a crazy like spike in STDs. That's so disgusting. And good for them, but also like, oh my God.
But who cares? They're on the way out. They want to have a good time.
Dude, I would be fine to get herpes at 85. Like something's gotta take me out.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but like on one hand, it's like I could see where, anytime I demonize something, I also try to think that I don't think that the invention of things that turn dark necessarily was incepted in darkness. I think that sometimes it's like people's creation and use of it that turns a corner and like takes advantage of it or just gets tipped in another direction. So I think it's a nice idea for there to be a community of people who are elderly, especially when, you lose a spouse and you want to make friends and like all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I get that. But I think it's become more of a place where we like discard and try to disengage because we just don't want, like my dad put his dad in there because he didn't want to deal with having to like change his diaper eventually or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, he changed your diapers. Like, this is like the life cycle. We need to like roll our fucking sleeves up and get a little dirty when
Well,
it
look, I
comes
think
to front.
since the beginning of time, there was real intergenerational cohabitation. And we've also
Yeah.
moved away from that. I think
Yeah.
that is that if it can work is a beautiful. I have a friend who moved to Pennsylvania with her daughter. Her mother's a professor and in classics. And not that that's relevant at all. And she moved with her husband and baby from LA. And like
Oh,
they all live together. That
yeah. And like,
side is Italian, you know,
just, it goes by so fast.
the
Like,
babies.
no, like when you have an elderly parent.
Yeah. I think that I think I think it's an individual case by case scenario because I think, real dementia, Alzheimer's, these things are really, really challenging to deal with.
Yeah. And
Um,
have like full money for like a nurse and home care and all that stuff. It's like, you are out of your depth.
Yeah, I think I don't like to make any kind of blanket statement, but I do think it doesn't have to be even your biological parentage. It's like the 70-year-old woman. Who's the woman that comes in? Like, that's a beautiful thing
Totally.
that, I think just
Like everyone,
having conversations, you know?
yeah.
Like, I work out with women in this group. 23 of the 20 somethings in this workout class are having babies. All
Wow.
around the time they're having babies. There's a baby shower for them. And then up to like 60s. And it's just like this beautiful thing to have that mix of ages.
Yeah, totally.
And it's not that common, I feel like. I mean, I felt it when I lived in the East Village and I hung out at that coffee shop all the time. There were men and women in their 50s, 60s, old timers in the East Village, and been in the East Village forever. And they would sit and I would talk to them. I just think those third places are really important for that.
Be curious to talk to an older person about the concept of fate versus free will.
I would love to do that. My dad has a theory. Yeah. My dad has a theory that everybody gets a chance. And most people just don't take, like, to do something, like, where something presents itself. And
Mm.
many people make an excuse not to take it, but everyone gets at least one. I was like, that's an interesting theory. He's 82, and there's definitely like fate and chance in his life. I just think we had more movies also that talked about these concepts, going back to that too.
Mm, mhm.
I don't know. I think that it's like,
It's actually interesting you're saying that because we were watching I forget what it was. It was like a cartoon from like the 80s or 90s that Tyler knew about, and we were showing Asher because we just let him watch TV, but we try to make it like stuff that's fun and think but that we think will like be
I
good for.
watched. Did you? I watched Sesame Street. I watched TV.
I know, it's like I have to get over my like weird shame that I let my kid watch TV. I don't put an
What
iPad.
about old Mister Rogers videos?
I know there's good stuff out there. Like we
Yep.
put this then we try to find stuff that's like more up from our generation or stuff that's like not so overstimulating. Anyways, I don't need to go down my shame rabbit hole about my TV time with my toddler, which is also some of my favorite time. Um, but there was whatever, we put it on and it was cool. It was like going from cartoon to he was going from cartoon to real life and it was had this like mystical fantasy element and all this stuff. And we were just like, this is like the thing this is one of the things. And after watching Ace Ventura and starting to
Yeah.
go down
Oh, I didn't
other
watch that
comedy,
this week. I forgot.
that
I will.
you have to do that in your snow. You have power, like you will love. But the whole point, like, I think you're right, and I think it actually ties into the thing that you're saying about control and like how we're dealing with reality these days. Is like there's this element of fantasy and like a level of like irreverency and humor and storytelling that
Yeah.
is lost, which is kind of weird considering all the Piscean energy that we're coming out of. Like you would think that that would like be more of a part of it.
Yeah, but it's like we didn't have the whimsy, we had the victim consciousness. That
Right.
was
The fun part.
Yeah. Maybe the Aries will be like more of the fun. I mean, it is Saturn, but maybe like Neptune and Aries. I don't know. I feel like we need more whimsy and play. And also, yeah, like fairy godmother, like that kind of energy. Like I feel it's also interesting in this book, there's a whole chapter called Fate and the Feminine, and
Mm.
how if you look throughout stories and history, it's always a feminine being that it brings the fate forward or shares the fate.
Wow, that's so true.
Like it's rarely, if ever,
Like
a man.
even like Disney princess
Yeah.
uh your films, it's like the prince finds the princess on her fated timeline. He's not finding her for him.
Yes. Totally.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
actually. You never have once I would actually this should be a fucking movie
Yeah.
to flip flop one of the, like, hero complex the man saves the princess and flip it to where
Genius.
he's the one we see from his perspective.
Take that to your agent.
That's a really good idea.
It never comes from that, right? I thought that was such an
No.
interesting perspective and point.
Yeah, that's so good. I wanna
And,
read
like,
the book. What's it called?
it's the astrology of fate. It is so it's like I feel like I'm back in college in the best way.
I love that.
It's so it's so eye-opening and mind-opening and really, like, this really rich exploration of our relationship to fate. Because it really just does feel, especially, y you know, this idea that, no, we can just change our reality completely. But I've never bought that.
Well, here's
I'm
what
too earth sign focused.
I
Like, I just
I think that we can, but what happens, and this is the fate
yeah.
tie, is like the classic quote of "Wherever you go, there you are." So,
Right.
you can change your whole reality. Everything externally can look different. You can move, you can shed, you can do whatever the fuck.
That's not what I'm referring to. I'm
Yeah,
referring to the like,
but you will still be there.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like, you can't change your fundamental imprint.
yeah,
I think it's, like, literally as old as time, right? Is that, the snake oil of, like, I'm gonna go to this, they're gonna give me a potion, and then there's always a negative effect to that.
right,
In the fairy tales or in the gothic fairy tales, if a character goes and says, make this happen for me, what are all of the negative ripple effects that happen as a result
right,
of that?
right. There's another part of it too, which doesn't have to do with the fairy tale, but just is that, like, everyone always talks about, like, manifesting, calling these big things, and, like, the
Mhm.
life they want and all of this, but, like, the truth is, and this is in my experience, this is real, and I think people who have had the opportunity to take these quantum leaps or have manifestations come to life is that that is true, is that
Mhm.
once you get the thing that you think that you wanted, there's a strange tower on the other side, and then you have to deal with the fact that now you have to, like, hold this new level up,
Right.
and
My teachers used to say you have to be able to maintain it. Can you maintain it? What you want but is it
yeah,
fated that you were always going to have that thing and you just stumbled upon whatever the avenue was that you think you used to get that thing, but it was always coming for you?
I don't think that. I think that it will come for you if you participate.
Well, you can say no. This is my dad, right? If an opportunity presents itself, this came up because
But you can
my
make
dad moved to Hong Kong. Like,
is
his mentor was like, "If you move to Hong Kong," this was the '70s. He was married, he had my sisters. He was married to my mom, still married to my mom. He had my sisters, and his mentor said to him, "If you go to Hong Kong, I think you can build this whole thing." And he was like, "Okay." And he believes had he not done that, it that was it, like, that was an opportunity, and he seized it. And, like, he's right that not a lot of women would be like, "Okay." But my mom was like, "Let's go."
it's really funny because my dad has the opposite story, which is that he was in, like, early tech,
Yeah.
like, software company, and on 2 different occasions, people pitched him to invest in 2 different ideas that he thought were stupid,
Mhm.
and so he didn't take the investment, like, the earliest investment in the following: bottled water and text messaging.
Wow.
I could be a billionaire's
Yeah.
child, and that's what I feel like I'm supposed to be.
You identify as a billionaire?
I identify as a trust fund kid.
You're a trans billionaire or whatever you
Yeah,
see, like, I've seen those.
trans
It's
but
not trans at
he
all. It's
he
just
didn't take that opportunity, so it's like his fated opportunity to, like, maybe have, because now,
There's the
and
point.
it's interesting because he has a very stark, constrictive relationship with money. And maybe if he had taken an opportunity, it would have given him the space to heal or transform this aspect of his own karma.
That's my that's so it's proving my dad's point.
Exactly. Just the
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah. And like, my dad grew up, it was in a one-bedroom apartment with 5 people in Williamsburg. He grew up in absolute poverty, and he was just the youngest of the boys, and he looked around and he saw a lot of guys were trying to go into the mafia, and
Mhm.
he saw one day his brother's friend open a car door and get blown up.
No.
Yeah, and he's like, not going the wise guy route, but like, right?
Yeah.
Um, and also you can't really join the mafia if you're Jewish. Like it's really an Italian. It was really like an Italian like you could be on around it, like you
They,
could be on the periphery.
they work with, but not like on the inside circle.
Right.
Yeah.
But for a lot of reasons, but that was an imprint. He was a kid.
That's insane.
And then all of his best friends were like 10 years older and they were joining the army. So he joined the army and he joined the army and he got out before Vietnam. So he wasn't drafted. Like there's all these, you
Well,
know, all of these things that led. My dad has some amazing stories. He just told me this story that he used to spend a lot of time in Taiwan. And he said that in the 70s, it he used to be able to go to the army base and like watch movies and eat hamburgers in Taiwan. Whatever like movies were recently out in the theaters, they would play them.
oh, that's so cool.
So he would go. He
Like
said the food in Taiwan is amazing. Isn't that cool? Like just
that is,
interesting. I love like stories from the 70s, like 60, like 70s and 80s. And he said the best food he's ever had is in Turkey. I've never been to Turkey. He said they would just like scoop out caviar, like by the like
oh my
he's
God.
like, what is it? And the guy's like, you gotta eat. He has these amazing stories from all over the world. But like it's just an interesting why did that happen to my why did this kid from Williamsburg in poverty didn't even graduate 7th grade? How did he get around the world?
Right. Right.
Like,
Well,
how does that
we're
you
not
know?
caste system.
Yeah, I mean, my dad always says he's like, if I had gotten a house in Queens, I would have felt like I hit the jackpot. But
Right.
instead, like this work took him around the world. I just think it's interesting, like why for some people and why for others no. And I don't think it's entirely free will. I think we like to do that because we love.
You're fine, babe. You're okay. Okay. I thought you were gonna go lay down. I did. I changed it and all that. Oh.
I think we love that because we want a formula, and then we say, if I follow that formula, if I follow X, Y, or Z formula, X, Y, and Z will happen for me. But there's X factors involved.
I definitely think it's a mistake to, well, the formula is based on somebody else's
Right.
experience.
Success story. Like,
And that's
you know,
their path. And so like whatever,
yes.
like if you could do the exact same things as like your hero and end up in a completely different space. But I think,
Yes.
we were saying like why for some people it's not is because I think some people, if you keep your base, like from what I know of your dad,
Mhm.
he lived very true to himself existence.
That is true. My dad's favorite song in the world is Frank Sinatra's My Way.
Okay, so okay, so there you have it.
Yes. Yes. Very much so. And taught us to get that way. And that's why there's 4 of us who are like that. For
Right.
all 4 of us really like my dad was like, what the fuck are you doing, Astra? Like he was like, go to Columbia and get not the country, the college, and get
Yeah.
like a degree in psychology or whatever. Yeah. Which is so funny because he didn't follow any of those. He couldn't follow any of those, tracks. But yeah, that was the most important thing to him that we listened to ourselves.
Yeah. And so I think that's the thing that activates what we call fate or whatever, is that some people don't get the opportunity to meet it because they live an existence that's very out of alignment, even if it's not like, I'm in alignment with my astrology because I know all these things in my human design. You don't need all
Well,
that
that's
stuff.
information. I'm talking about like
That's what I'm saying.
here.
Like, if you're just going by, if you're living life my way, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that is your alignment and that is your North Star. And so I think that's when opportunities present themselves, when you live from that place, you take a shorter route to reach a place of fate because you're already living in a place where you're open to what is trying to be offered to you. Where, like, I can just think of specific people who live so out of alignment, like, they always make the wrong choice for themselves. They're always going into, like, toxic situations. They're always, and obviously we can unpack why that is, but I think those are people who miss the boat, like your dad is saying, where it's like some people get the opportunity, some people don't take it. It's like you don't take it because you're missing the boat because you're wrapped up in something that's inauthentic to your imprint.
Right. So, yes. And if I had if I had died in that accident, I
Mhm.
don't think that I was on the wrong path. I know that's really challenging to people. Like, I don't think it guarantees I don't think listening to yourself guarantees a life of ease. I think
But
that is
that's making an assumption that dying is bad.
I that's what I'm saying, and I don't think it is. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I
How does
had a near-death experience, but I'm saying that there is like, take Tatiana Schlossberg. Do you know the story?
the Kennedy daughter who just died?
Yes. Like, I don't know what is in that family, but there is like there is a tragedy. My friend was like, it's like the
Karma.
Habsburg, and my friend Anna was like, it's like the Habsburg Empire or something. Like, it is, what is that? Is that
Like a
fit? Like,
family karma that they all have to pay the penance of.
that's right? Is it karma? Is it fate? Is it like, why did I survive that accident, but she had to leave behind a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old? Not
Right.
that it's like, not that God was like, I'm going to take this one and not this one, but just what is that? And I think that those are the conversations that I am very interested in. And they're very, I understand, confronting to people because no one, it's all, it's all, most of it is out of our control. It just is. Like, and I think that's a really, like you just said earlier when I was like, I don't know, I could, maybe I'd live in Israel one day. I don't know, cue like me getting absolute hate text and mail from that. But like, and you're like, it's dangerous, but like, I don't know. What if it doesn't matter? What if I'm supposed to, what if there's a suicide bombing here that I was
I mean,
victim of?
as soon as I said that in my head, I was like, "Well, you don't live in a safe place either."
Right. I mean, I live in a
Like,
safer place than if I were like, d- in the Sudan right now,
yeah.
obviously. But I think I, I don't, I don't know that, I think what I've felt very deeply, and I have it. I'm human and I like comfort, but safetyism, the obsession with safety,
Mhm.
that I think blocks us from living. And I am guilty of that. If I travel somewhere, Daniel's like, let's go stay at a hovel. And I'm like, the Four Seasons has really nice beds. Like, we like find somewhere in the middle. But like, I'm not saying I don't suffer from that, especially as I've gotten older. When I think about some of the disgusting places I stayed in like my 20s or whatever. But I think that there's also something to an obsession with safety that keeps us from living, myself included.
Do you think that's what prevents us from, you know, if we're talking about, can we block fate or do we walk straight into it? Is the fear the thing that you think blocks people?
I think fear in general, I think life has become so comfortable for so many people, so many, not everybody. But I think that, yeah, there isn't like, I love to travel, but it's not, it's vacation.
Right.
Like, I, when I read like Chris Arnatti, obsessed with him, like that's travel. He is really like there in talking to people from all walks of life. And I do that, but I like if I'm doing that in Lisbon, Portugal, it's probably at like a decently cool cafe. I'm not, I think that there is just in general, yeah, I mean, so many people I talk to, this is an interesting subject, is like your whole thing with wellness is it when did we become so obsessed with health? Is it post COVID? Why are we so obsessed with health? Like my dad has this friend he's had for literally 60, 70 years, right? The guy has a belly out to here. He has chain smoked his whole life. He's in his mid 80s. He's still here.
I love that guy.
You would love him. You would fucking love. I mean, he is a character and a half, like, but isn't it rooted in this idea of control and longevity and like, what is the obsession?
Well, the health obsession post COVID is what I used to sell my TV show in 2021 because I knew that this was going to happen, which
Yeah.
is that people just realized they were so abandoned by the system and that traditional medicines were failing them that, yeah, I think that it ramped up something that was already percolating beneath the surface, which is that like we can live a lot better than we've been told. And
Well,
so,
that's 100% true. But I do think it tips into orthorexia or not living.
I am 100% aligned with the fact that we have gone into a dark space with it where it's nothing is fun anymore. Like, I feel like sometimes people are like, I still drink wine. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, not, you don't have to be sober because being sober is a trend because too many people, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever.
But
Like,
don't you think this is safetyism? Don't you think it's under the umbrella of safetyism of like, everything has to be so safe and we need guardrails
like,
around everything?
I've been like, Huberman goes on podcasts and is like, the level of toxicity of even one glass of wine. I'm like, I would rather have toxic glasses of wine than do whatever intensely masculine, control oriented exercise you're doing to not
Yeah.
have that glass of wine. Like,
I mean,
to me,
there's plenty of women that are equal. I don't know. Is it a masculine toxicity? I think it's just across the board
I,
control.
I think they're absorbing. I don't know. That's interesting because I was kind of writing about that yesterday, where how we have all this language around masculine, feminine, because being this pregnant, people are like, it's the ultimate expression of the feminine. Like
Yeah.
you must feel, you're like a goddess. And I'm like, I do not feel any of that. And and it makes me feel shitty when you're like projecting that I'm this like it's the ultimate expression of femininity. It is definitely something women do that men don't do. And
Mhm.
so especially coming into the third trimester and having to be forced to slow down and like all that, there's a more feminine energy to that. But I'm just really been grappling with internally like the ways in which we kind of define these energies and we try to ground them in the density of the real world. It like bothers me
Well, it's
because
like Joan of Arc was a woman. Like
right,
this idea that like only, you know, and I think I've actually been thinking about this so much because I was really bullied by boys my own age because I was always raising my hand in class and arguing with the teacher, and that's really fucking annoying, and I understand that now. But I always gravitate towards non-sexually. People can't older men at a party.
yeah.
Always. That like if I'm at a dinner party, if I'm around like I often just gravitate, that's like where I end up. It just is. I find that also I don't have kids, so a lot of conversations around women my own age are about having, and beautiful as it should be. But this predates it. This is like in my 20s. It's like when I would say at that cafe all the time, my friends were older straight guys and gay guys actually. But like I just always felt more comfortable, and that has to do with basically being raised by my dad,
Yeah.
and my dad being a much stronger influence
But that doesn't
in
make
my
you any less feminine.
I, I don't it's like my point is like I don't give a fuck. Like I don't it doesn't matter where I fall on that spectrum. I
Yeah.
just like sometimes I would want to wear a pantsuit and sometimes I want to wear flowy Christy Dawn dresses. Like I'm not attached to this idea. I definitely, the goddess language does not resonate with me, but I'm also a New Yorker. Like, it's not going to resonate with, like, it's not my vibe, you know? But, like, that language doesn't. But, like,
I
I'll
mean,
never,
sometimes I feel like a goddess. It's not when I'm 9 months pregnant.
but I think like, that's
Ew.
okay. I just think we have these, like, ideas about how things are supposed to be. And then we think we have to feel a certain way because of that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think that is part of the beauty of getting older is like, it doesn't matter where I fall in that. I don't need to label it. I have very strong feminine energy astrologically in that I am not, I am not by nature a go getter.
Mm.
I'm not. Like most of the things that happen to me in life happen because I ended up in conversation with someone and then it led here and that it led here.
Or you're a generator.
I'm a generator.
Okay.
So that resonates more with me than like, you know, but like I've been listening to Damon and Affleck on Rogan.
Okay.
It's a
I,
really it's a good conversation.
I watched their movie last night.
I'm gonna watch it tonight, I think, or tomorrow night.
It's like a fun action movie.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
I love action movies. I love
Me,
CIA movies. Like I love that shit, right?
yeah.
And I love listening to men talk. I'm not
Yes.
threatened by it. I just love it. I love it, right? And like I don't know. Like, does that make me masculine? Maybe. But I also have like long hair, which grew so fast, by the way. Like, I don't even, it was
I
like
mean,
here yesterday.
I know it did grow really fast.
I know. I guess I'm healthy.
You are.
Strong nails, strong hair. But I just, like, I don't know. Does that mean I'm more masculine? Maybe. I don't care.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying, like, I think that there's so many different ways to be feminine. There's so many different ways to be masculine. But like, I just like intelligent, thoughtful conversation.
Which
What is that?
I have with a woman.
I just honestly think like other women like me who were raised more by their fathers.
But like my mom was way more like how you're describing. Like my mom was so engaging, so into conversation, like very much like
Yeah. Yeah.
intellectual, move fast and super smart and like had that energy of engagement and socialization and wanting to go deep and chew on things and all the things you're talking about
Yeah.
far more than my dad has.
Right.
You know,
So
and
it's like
I raised
I don't
by
think it's a
them,
gender thing.
but personality wise, I identify more with how she was in the social sense. So it's like that's my feminine energy. That's my mother's energy. But her energy was not. She didn't live like a languid existence. Even though that's what I wrote in my Substack today, that my 2026 is what it's going to be all about.
But I feel like that's the feedback that I would get in my 20s and early 30s was like, you're too heady. You need to drop into your feminine. And
Yeah,
now being in my mid 40s, I'm like, fuck it. I am who I am.
but exactly. That's what I think I get hung up on too, where it's like, just need to like drop more into your feminine. And it's like, what if this is my expression of feminine?
Yeah. It's like I'm
By the way,
spending my day
reading,
nurturing people.
reading is a very feminine activity. It's literally all receptive.
There you go. Or like I'm spending my days nurturing people in conversation.
Yeah.
I don't, whatever, call that whatever you, but I think that, I mean, that was a lot of feedback that I got. And I get it because I'm heady in that way. And I'm not, I like said it last time, like I'm not dancing on tables, like belly dance, like I'm not that version of feminine. So, but I think that's awesome. It's just not me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I really I it's funny 'cause, our nanny will always say that, like, I do a lot of man things.
Like what? Change light bulbs?
Tyler, how I
Fix
do
the carburetor? What does that mean?
no, like, I, like when the room was really humid, I was the one, like, manning the dehumidifier and calculating the level of humidity and, like, very, like, data-oriented,
Yeah.
like, things, or I don't know, she just, like, thinks that I do things in her perspective that are more the role of the man. But then, like and it's true, like, Tyler
Mhm.
does, like, all of our family's laundry, like, that's the
Yeah.
role of the woman, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
but we're not, like, not in our masculine and feminine energies
But
to
this is what drives me
we don't
crazy.
take those roles that are, like, specifically randomly assigned that have nothing to do with the reality of the expression of the energy.
Yeah, also, who cares? If it's working, it's working.
Yeah, no, she wasn't, like, criticizing,
Right.
she just observing it because to her well, she is a single mom, but I think it's just a little bit more it
Was
just
that she said that because you put together the
I put together the train set. I mean, I'm so mass.
Wait, I'm kind of impressed with your engineering mind, which I do not have at all. Can you, like, put things together? Like, are you good at putting things together?
If I have the patience, yes.
Like, I love Legos, but that's because I follow
Okay.
the thing. I don't like Daniel can,
I built a bunch of his stuff.
Daniel can figure out how things work, and I can't do like, that's just not my natural. He's like, "Yes, you could figure." I'm like, "No,
He would
sure."
can figure it out, but what he does is he gets so impatient.
Mm. Gemini and Sag. Sorry to bring him in.
Be like, "We're not using this part of the this part of the this part of the the high chair. It doesn't fit. We don't need it." I'm like,
Just,
"Oh,
like, topples over.
of
Oh,
the manufactured chair."
oh, I went
Like,
walking.
every girl with a guy says they say the same thing. It's a manufacturing error.
It can never be them. 100%.
Getting
Daniel,
so mad.
100%. Well, can I just tell you this thing? Do you
Yeah.
know about this? So, I went walking with my, um, neighbor, Emily, well, former neighbor, and they just had a baby 7 weeks ago. And she showed up to our hike walk in a coat where there was an additional zip in for the baby, where the
Yep.
baby had a hoodie. I was like, "You need to send me this so I can send this to every mother I know." It was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Wow, I really want that.
Like,
That sounds
it's meaning she had the
good.
baby in a Bjorn or whatever, right? And then she had a hood, and then zipped into the 2 zippers was the baby side with the little hood.
That's so cute.
I was like, "This is the most genius invention." She
Who
said
made
she's gonna text it to me. I don't know. I think she said, like, a Serafina or something. I was like, "You must send this to me, and once she does, I will put in the." Obviously, I don't have a baby. I'm not, I'm not a baby influencer, but this was like, how is this not everywhere? Not that I'm on the algorithm of mothers of babies, but
I
this
haven't
is it's the most I mean, granted, you live in LA, but it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
but I'm
It's
having
genius.
yeah,
And the
that is
baby was, like, sleeping so snug, so like, the little hood that matched her hood, like, and it was
we need it.
oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna find out. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I don't know if any of the 22 people are watching know. Put it in the thing.
Oh my god,
Do we
I'm
wanna open it up?
myself up today.
What?
So sore trying to hold myself up today. Does
Oh.
everyone going on here?
Whoa. You have no stretch marks.
No, I don't.
That's amazing.
Somehow.
It's the Italian skin you got.
This girl is stretched out. God, did I tell you about the masseuse who was like feeling my ribs? And she's like, my God, your ribs are so far apart. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, you must have been actually really petite at one point. Like, when you get to be this pregnant, people see you and they can't imagine that you are like any other size. I was like, yes, I'm only 5'3" and I've never weighed more than 130 pounds in my entire life. Like, I, my normal weight is about 123. Like, this is not this 190 that I'm circling. No, it's not who I am.
Someone just sent me a photo and I was like 30 in the photo, and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, aging's real. It's a real
Oh, such a bitch.
I was like, oh, I wish I knew that I were this attractive.
That's my everyday. I wish I knew I was so attractive and so cool when I was young.
Daniel had to like, Daniel's like, you are. I was like, let's be objective here. I mean,
You're like,
look at this photo.
you're like, you love me, so you don't really count.
Yeah, but I was like, oh my, I was like, also, I guess, I was subsisting on kale and almond milk in LA at that point. So it makes sense. I was like 20 pounds.
Body in my mid-30s, I'm so shook.
Yeah.
I was literally like, I saw these photos and I'm like, the saddest part is I thought I was fat.
I can't even talk about it. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what? This is what I look like?
No, it's like, it's so dark. That's why even in my size right now, like I'm making jokes and stuff, but I don't feel any type of like shame. Or in my postpartum, I wasn't like, I have to lose this weight right away. I was like, that's where I think I really drop into my feminine energy, where I'm like, fuck that. I just gave birth to a human child and I'm breastfeeding that child and keeping that child alive. I don't need to be skinny right now. That to me, I feel way more feminine and like goddess-like and connected, like postpartum, which is kind of
That
like
makes sense.
thing, but it's because my body is now not being captured and I'm like doing the actual work of what motherhood is.
I mean, that makes sense though. And you'll breastfeed, like there's the connection.
But I had no sense of like, why am I still fat? Like, I just never was like that. And then when I finally was like, okay, it's time to work out, like things started moving, but it was like I was ready.
And then you got pregnant.
And that part was very rude. I was like, my legs are looking so like toned and like I'm just feeling myself and like my jeans fit me. And then it's like, joke's on you, bitch.
You're going to be so in love with her
It's going to be great. And then I can close up shop.
for that.
No, never do it again.
Imagine if you had been pregnant with twins.
That was the first question when she put my ultrasound on. I was like, there's only one, right? And
Have you seen the video? I'm sure it's AI, but the video of the little kids who have new siblings and they're twins or
oh yeah,
triplets. And
there's Penny, put one back. I love those videos. No, 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 not more than one. No, three. No, they get so mad, and these are
is
crying.
that AI?
No, I think that's real.
It's so cute.
I mean, toddlers really act like that, so it seems pretty accurate.
Daniel and I both have twins in our family. So I thought that we were going to get pregnant and have twins.
Oh my god,
Neither happened. But I really, yeah. His great aunts.
yet.
And has it happened? His great, how cool is this? His great aunts were twins and they were costume designers in Greenwich Village.
Oh, that's sick.
Isn't that really cool?
Yeah. Whoa, so weird. Like the Kiwi connection to your.
Well, no, not his Kiwi side, his American side.
Oh, got it. Oh, right. I forgot that he's both.
Yeah, and like his grandparents on his mom's side, they used to have like, was it Cary Grant? Like his mom grew up in Calabasas.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got to come back and make a pilgrimage to his hometown.
There was a really cool coffee shop that Tyler took Asher to, and I DM'd him and I was like, this place looks awesome in Agora Hills.
Oh yeah, they go somewhere. They go on their little adventures. I don't know where they go.
Oh my God, the videos I can't. Daddy, watch out.
I know.
Daddy, watch out.
He's so cute. It's sick.
It's next level.
I know. I have a really cute, well-behaved, not psychotic 2-year-old somehow. Doing something right over here.
Do we want to open it up? I feel like we've been forgetting to do that.
Anybody have any thoughts or feelings? And then I need to like lay down. They look like a goddess.
Yeah. Have you seen the like I saw I've seen this like video of indigenous women literally just leaning against a tree and birthing a baby.
Oh my
It's
God,
the most amazing thing.
I like to watch videos of elephants giving birth.
Well, that's an interesting subset in what's the term, like algorithm? Have you ever? Yes, Hamnet.
Have
Daniel
not.
thinks it was the best movie of the year. I thought Sentimental Value was the best movie of the year, but it's incredibly beautiful. Have you seen it?
I
No.
gotta watch.
It'll you'll be able to watch it at home. It's really, really beautifully done. And like Daniel's very obsessed with like sound quality and all of those artistic aspects that make up a film that most viewers, latent viewers, that he was just like everything in this film is. But the performances are, and it's also about the redemption of art, like how
Okay,
art can personally redeem us. It's very actually Neptune and Pisces, if I think about it.
I'll watch when
Did
it
you
comes.
like it, Laura J? She can respond.
Probably.
We also saw,
Funny.
um,
He was on my list too.
oh, hold on. We also saw, this was before or right after the New Year, maybe. We saw the Brazilian film
What's
that
that?
uh, he keeps winning for.
Oh, oh yeah, the he
The
just.
Secret Agent.
Okay, yeah.
It's not what I thought we were getting like a CIA style movie. So tonally I was thrown off and I was like, what's happening? But once I dropped into it, it's really, really well done.
I need to wait for all these movies to come to streaming because I'm just not in a theater going.
Yep. Plus, like, yeah, I mean, they're subtitled. Well, Sentimental Value is not fully subtitled. It's subtitled in parts, but it is a work of art.
I love that. I want to see it.
Yeah, it's really good. And show-wise, The Night Managers. Did I say that at the beginning of this? The Night Manager is so good.
I know everyone's really into Jacob Elordi right now, and I went to my friend's store in Malibu.
He's not in it.
No, but I went to my friend's store the other day, and he was there, and I was like, "Oh, he's so cute. I get why people love this kid."
Is he 20?
He's definitely young. He's just like really has a sweet energy. It's like, and he's doing so well and chooses really interesting projects. He's in one of the films that he's like going to all these award shows. And I was just like, oh, it's nice that he's like this sweetie human
Yeah.
recognition, and like everyone has a crush on him. I mean, Saltburn was like one of my favorite movies ever.
I've never seen Saltburn. I've also never seen Euphoria.
I won't watch Euphoria. I can't.
I started Euphoria and I was like, I can't watch this.
No,
It's too dark. Like,
it's
too.
like I already lived a really dark high school time. I don't really feel like watching this TV show of it.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
I'm like, I watched my real friends smoke PCP. I don't need to watch Zendaya do it.
I was like, oh, can we just have some like loving, like positive content? I've never seen it. So, but those are the things that he's known for. So I haven't seen him in
Yeah,
anything.
but that movie is really good. You should watch that.
Okay, Saltburn.
Yeah, it's like freaky.
Is that what's her name? Emerald.
I don't even know who made it. I forget.
Is it the same one that's doing Wuthering? No, Greta Gerwig. Who's doing Wuthering Heights?
I know, but I love that there's like a resurgence of all these old timey stories.
I know. At least if I just hope they keep some of the integrity of the original story.
Well, you'll be the first to tell us if they don't. All right, I'm gonna lay down. Love you so
Okay.
much.
Love you so much. You'll
Closing
let me know.
my
Yeah.
aforementioned hips that are separating cannot hold me up any longer.
Okay, so we'll probably do this next week unless you give birth.
Yeah, I'll get a better position. I'm just not in a good spot right now because my baby's sleeping where I normally record.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you so much. Thanks for being here, you guys. See you next time.
Yes.
Bye.